out of grid 7. Tony Hubbard, as we mentioned, was due to start alongside Humble, but he start from the rear of the grid. So that's a nice big hole there in front of Graham Wakefield in that Mustang number 88 with the white stripes. He'll be looking to make the most of those two big holes in front of him and get on the tail of Wilkinson in the silver Mustang. Here we go, folks. Race 1, Group 2, Historic Touring Cars. Good start from Bow, hooks up well. Even better start from Marty White in the Falcon Sprint. Very quick away from the line. Keep an eye on the big blue Monaro of Nathan Gordon. Also went away well, as did the red Monaro of John Alessi. But Bow will lead into turn 1 for the first time. Andrew Lane, a great start. He's got up into second place. So Mewett maybe missed a gear or something halfway down the straight there, because he has fallen back to about 4th place, Ron.
He may have done that. I see the Hubbard car actually starting out at pit row, so he's got a fair bit to catch up anyway. But the way they come round through turns 2, 3 and up into 4, and Bow out at the front as we lose sight of them just for a moment. Car's getting a bit wishy-washy on the cold tyres as they come round turn 4, and we've got the green Charger getting rather up onto the cross. Here comes Hubbard now, looking for a way through. He'll be raging up on this back straight. He'll come into sight very soon, and there he comes now. So Hubbard going the wrong way round on the big sweeper as they come up down through into Danny Long corner.
Ben Dahlstrom in the silver Charger, the car formerly campaigned by Les Walmsley. A whole gaggle of Chargers here this weekend. It's absolutely fantastic for the Mopar fans. Rob Burns on screen there in the number 70 Charger in front of Michael Hibbert in the number 71 Charger, and then Miles as well, the 2 Miles boys out there too in their Charger. So a very strong field of Chrysler's as Bow continues to lead from Andrew Lane. The 2 Mustangs up in front, but we're looking at this battle between the Chargers on screen at the moment. John Alessi in the HQ Monaro just rounding up Dahlstrom in the Charger. So 350 Chev proving a little bit more for the Charger of Hibbert.
Humble also making some inroads there too. He's really got himself up into 7th place. A good start, and there's 71 also getting himself with a wheel dangling up in the air, as they like to do. So around car number 2 and 3 they come. Very loose exhaust too on that Monaro. I saw that earlier. Car number 2 has a very loose exhaust. That's Alessi.
Not dragging though, so hopefully it stays back where it should. So John Alessi, a former real front runner in the HQ 6-cylinder class, made the move to Historic Touring Cars some years ago. The wheel of that red Monaro. Number 2 is Mewett, takes a shortcut down through the S's there in the Mustang, as Wilkinson in the silver Mustang number 189 starting to put some pressure on Marty White in the Falcon Sprint number 126.
That's about the furthest I've seen that car up for a long time. 126 White in the Falcon Sprint. Great looking motor car.
Certainly is very lightweight, a couple of 100 kilos less than the equivalent year Mustang. Fiberglass panels on the car, as was homologated back in the day. Very quick, of course, the Monte Carlo race winner in 64 before the Frenchies took the win away.
Yes, purposely built motor car with light panels, as you say. And here's Humble being harassed by one of the other Mustangs. They come through into turn 1.
Chris Stern in the Mustang. I said he wasn't driving, but he is, which is great to see. President of the Historic Touring Car Association of Victoria there. He's trying to reel in that number 29 Mazda. That's as easier said than done when you're trying to catch Humble.
I'm looking for Hubbard trying to get through. I think he's still a fair way back at this stage as we are into lap 3 of 7.
So it's a Mustang 1, 2, 3 at the moment. John Bow leading from Andrew Lane with Ian Mewett trying to regain some track position that he lost on the start. So Mewett up into 3rd now in the blue Mustang at number 55. Nathan Gordon in the HQ Monaro, number 45. He has his hands full with Graham Wakefield in the Mustang right on his tail. And then there's Humble in that Mazda we were talking about, with Chris Stern in the Mustang right on his tail.
Yes, Stern put his nose up in beside Humble as they went in there before, but he didn't quite get through. Then we've got
Ben Wilkinson gets through on move. Marty White, so same position there.
Sideways.
So Wilkinson now up into 4th place. Marty White back to 5th in the Falcon Sprint.
I wonder if the sprint Mr. Gear or something back further. He seemed to have caught up to him quite quickly already. As we watch the rest of the field streaming down the long straight. Car 45 getting a little bit wishy-washy there. That's Gordon. Car's getting very twitchy under brakes today. I'm not quite sure there's a tailwind or what it is, but
Jason Humble puts a move on Graham Wakefield. Great move into turn 3.
Great move.
Wakefield saw him coming, gave him a little bit of room, but Jason Humble on the charge now, immediately onto the tail of the number 45 Monaro of Nathan Gordon as they venture out onto the back straight once again. So Humble now up into 7th place, but will it be 6th because he's trying to reel in that Monaro of Gordon, as Chris Stern now starting to put the pressure on Graham Wakefield in the number 88 Mustang.
I'm suggesting that the Maz is probably a little bit more nimble, a little bit lighter on the brakes than the big Monaro. So
just a tad?
Just a
tad, Rod?
We'll see how they come down into turn 1 as they get down onto the long straight. Past the
and Humble
he got past anyway.
Right on cue. Jason Humble now moves up into 6th place. So Gordon back to 7th.
Very good run by Humble in this sort of smaller engine car. Believe it or not, they were actually rated about 1.6 litre when they first came out. But you do the sums on it, makes it about a 2,600 litres, a 2,600 cc car. So most unusual configuration of the motor, but anyway, he's doing it very well. Look at all these Mustangs and the Monaro. And where have we got Humble getting through there? I can't see him on the line. Yes, he's right at the back here. Lights on and really lighting it up as he goes past.
A real charger parade at the moment. Rob Burns, the number 70 machine. Michael Hibbert, the magenta coloured charger, number 71. And Ben Dahlstrom in the silver machine. So Chargers running very close to the mid-pack at the moment, just in front of that Falcon Sprint, the second Falcon Sprint of Jervis Ward.
Yeah, 3 charges on a charge. And here's the next group. Humble just leading that group. He's looking for White up in front of him, Gordon and Wakefield behind him. They come down onto the back straight over the old, what we call Lukey Heights. And you can actually see on the right-hand side there the entrance into the old circuit.
Dahlstrom puts the move on Michael Hibbert. Hibbert runs wide through the S's, and then Ben Dahlstrom gets that place over Michael Hibbert. So great battle between the two 6-cylinder Hemi-powered Chargers. So Dahlstrom now up into 14th, Hibbert back to 15th.
Yes, a good move there. Probably the right thing to do is actually drop back in that place because he did sort of cut the corner a bit as they make their way out onto the main straight. Go past our commentary box very shortly.
Bow continues to lead from Andrew Lane and Ian Mewett. It's on screen Stephen Scales, the Chevy Camaro from Queensland. His first journey here to Sandown. Having a solid run in the top 10.
We can actually pick up on the front 2 cars, Bow and Lane. There's not very much in it, 120.031 to 125.25, so fairly close up the front.
Hibbert looking to get that position back on Ben Dahlstrom in the battle of the Chargers. Saw a quick glimpse of Milan Zizek from Tasmania in the white and blue Mustang number 450. Also another Sandown debutant, so great to have the Tasmanians here. Speaking of which, we also have Mick Cross out there in an XU1. Not a cheap exercise to come up to Victoria's. Michael Hibbert gets past Ben Dahlstrom, so they are swapping places on the back straight there. He had a great run, so Hibbert now back up into 14th, Dahlstrom back to 15th.
Just watching, not on stream, but just watching Hubbard up the back straight. He picked up a couple of places there, so he's really on a charge, but he's going to run out of time with 7 of 7 done, so flag will be out for Bow.
Last lap for race 1 for Group 2 Historic Touring Cars, brought to us by Just Cars Magazine and also Penrite. So Bow looks like he has the race sewn up at the moment. Andrew Lane and Ian Mewett, though, still in hot pursuit. So Lane not too far away from the tail of Bow, so he'll have to keep the lines on the number 44 Mustang well in check, with Andrew Lane set to pounce at any slight error. It's pretty hard to get out of Bowie these days, as it was back in those days.
It'd make it a very wide Mustang, believe me.
It's a car owned by Joe Collegia, of course, running his Corvette in the sports cars this weekend. He asked John to get behind the wheel of the ex-Perry Spirides number 44 Mustang, and he will take victory in race 1 for Group 2 Historic Touring Cars. Andrew Lane, the man from Hog's Breath Cafe in Traralgon, takes a great second place finish. Problems there for Ben Dahlstrom, a bit of smoke from underneath the Charger. Hopefully that's nothing too serious on the back straight. So Ben Dahlstrom looks like his race is coming to an end right on the last lap. Not sure if that's... and John Lessie also having some issues in the Monaro on the final tour as well. While all that was happening, Ian Newitt crossed the line in third in front of Ben Wilkinson, Marty White, Jason Humble. Nathan Gordon was 7th, Graham Wakefield 8th. Chris Stern crossed the line in 9th, and Stephen Scales rounded out the top 10. So hopefully nothing too serious for the Dahlstrom Charger. He was having a great battle all race long there, Ron, with the number 71 Charger of Michael Hibbert.
Cool Drive, Penrite and Shannons presents the Phillip Island Festival of Motorsport. Cars from around the world in over 50 races, celebrating 33 years of the Phillip Island Classic. Come and see Tim Blanchard, Jack Perkins, Larry Perkins and John Bauer race, plus lots more. The 2022 Phillip Island Festival of Motorsport. 3 days of non-stop racing, March 11th to the 13th. Head to VHRR.com to find out more. Proudly supported by Cool Drive, Penrite and Shannons.